Hey guys, so in this video I'm kinda gonna give you the do's and don'ts of Genshin for new players to Genshin, as the majority of my subscribers weren't originally following me because of Genshin, and perhaps this may help other people as well, I don't know. I'm a newish player, I've been playing since the summer, it's now winter, so I guess I'm still a newish player. But I can give you enough data to tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing in Genshin. And why is this video even relevant? Like, most people may not care, they just go in the game and they'll figure it out as they go. Sure, a lot of people can do that, but some people like me, I want to know exactly what I shouldn't do, right? Or what I should be focusing on and what I shouldn't when I start anything. So this is what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna explain to you what you should be focusing on, what you shouldn't worry about right now, and everything along those lines. So first things first is the characters. I would recommend that you do not try to get every single character in the game, at least not in the beginning, unless you're planning to spend money, a lot of money. However, in case you're not aware, you never have to spend a single cent in Genshin. Okay, so let me explain how this works really quick for those that may not know. So there's banners. This is where you get your characters from the majority of the time. Sometimes you get a free character in the game, or sometimes there's story characters that are free. However, like I said before, the majority of the time you'll be wishing for the character you want from the banners, and these main two banners here are the ones that cycle around. So sometimes there'll be new characters in there. In fact, it happens all the time, and but you may not see that same character again, perhaps like in a few months, perhaps in a year if you're super unlucky with it, but they cycle around and there'll be different characters in the first all the time. By the time you're watching this, perhaps they add a third main banner because they have so many characters that they have to separate it like that. But these are the banners you should be focusing on, just these, when a character you must have is on it. Okay, so let me explain the currency in Genshin really quick. So these things up here are called primal gems, and you get them from pretty much everything you do in Genshin. From quests to hangouts, to events, to web events, to opening chests, to completing achievements, from going through the tutorial. Pretty much every single thing you do in Genshin is going to reward you some of these. And you accumulate them to have 160, and then you can buy yourself a wish. However, you should let them stack to 10 before you actually wish. Just my opinion is because if you are close in the number of wishes it takes to absolutely unlock a character, and you wish for them one at a time, sure, you're gonna get it, right? But if you wish for it 10 at a time, you might get multiple versions at a time, so it increases your luck a little bit. But anyway, that's why you should do 10 at a time if you want. And you should be only buying the Intertwined Fate, this pinkish purple one. Do not ever buy the blue one, because these blue ones only work on a specific banner. However, all of those characters on that banner, you can get them when you fail to get the characters you want on the main banners. Also, if you're a new player, don't worry about the weapon banner. It's more important for you to get solid characters and build solid teams. Also, a quick note is when you have multiple of the same character, they actually empower your first version of the character, like making their abilities a bit stronger or last a little bit longer, or giving them an additional effect that they didn't have before. I think most people perhaps don't really care about like trying to max this out. So the characters that I do focus on, I do want them all the way maxed out, but I don't think this is a normal mindset. However, if you do it my way, you may not have enough points to get the next character and the next banner that you want, or the next weapon, or whatever it is. I don't care about the next character. I want just a handful of my favorite characters maxed out all the way. That's what I want. Other people may want one version of every single character. If that's how you want to do it like that. Next, inevitably you're gonna stack up these other currencies just by wishing. However, nothing in these menus should you actually be spending your points on, except for the wishes themselves. But like I said, only spend money on the pink wish, except for in this menu. You should buy both of them if you have enough points, and you likely will have an overabundance of points, because these 2 wishes reset every month, and you're gonna have more points than you can possibly spend on them each month. So buy out both of them each month if you can. As for this, if you want these characters, you should buy them when they're there, because those 2 characters will cycle around into different characters every month, and I think it's like twice a year you have the chance to get whatever specific character you're looking at. So you could buy them there if you want or if you need them, but if you don't, I would say get the wish, but nothing else in these menus should you really be concerned about. All this other stuff you can pretty much farm except for the weapons. As for the real money store, you could buy these and you can convert these into primal gems, or you could let them stack up and buy outfits and stuff like that. I would recommend you don't buy these packs or the battle pass, to be honest. That's my opinion. The Welcome Moon is only like $5 a month whenever you feel like doing it, and they'll give you a certain amount of these things, which you could either, you know, let them stack and buy outfits or turn them into primal gems, and you get 90 primal gems each day for the entire month. However, you have to log in every single day, or each day you don't log in, you're gonna miss out on those 90 primal gems you would have gotten. Okay, so enough about the store and about characters. What should you actually be doing every day in the game and not doing every day in the game? You're gonna have to prioritize a few things, because as a new player you have a lot of stuff on your plate to handle. I'm gonna try to separate this for you. You want to do your story quest, your Archon quest, I would say priority 1, so you can unlock the game, obviously, as far as you can. Do the normal quests as filler quests in between all the other stuff I'm gonna tell you to do. And something that you should absolutely be doing every day is these purple quests. You should make sure you do all 4 of these purple quests if you can every single day, and you hand them in, and then you collect the key from it as well. And once you have enough keys, because you can only hold 3 at once, unlock these character hangouts and stuff like this. Even if you don't plan to do it right now, unlock them, because you can only hold 3 keys at once. So keep accumulating those keys and keep wasting them as you get them, and when you have time, then do these quests. As well as when you make it to the point where Catherine allows you to send your characters out on expeditions, send them out on expeditions all the time, because not only will you be getting stuff for free, but it would also increase your battle pass counter for certain things a day. For instance, if you send your people out to go mining, it counts as them mining for you. Also, in case you're not aware, which I was a bit confused about when I was new, was sending a character out on an expedition doesn't mean they're not available for them to be in your team. You can still play with them while they're out on an expedition somehow. Next is resin. So you accumulate 1 resin every 8 minutes, and it stacks up to 160 is the maximum, and then you're just wasting points after that point. So what you need to do is go waste your resin before, you know, it maxes out, and you could do that on ley lines, or you can go inside of domains, or you could fight bosses, but you're probably at a low enough level that they're probably gonna whip your butt. But you could get one of your friends or a random player to come help. When you're a new character, it really doesn't matter where you spend your resin. Just spend it, because you're getting free stuff and then you're not wasting your resin. Whatever material it is, even if you don't know what the heck it is, you may need that later for a specific character or specific weapon later on. So you're saving yourself some extra work, as well as it's not wasteful. But when it comes to like fragile resin, do not waste that ever. Don't waste it. Eventually there's gonna come a time in the game where you need specific artifacts or specific material, and you have like everything unlocked in the game. This is when you should be spending your resin to help you increase your chances of getting more of this item or getting the right version of this item. But for now, do not spend, just let them stack. Let your fragile resin stack, but your original resin, the one that accumulates 1 every 8 minutes, make sure you empty it out before the day is over. Never let it be on 160. So one bad advice that I got from some YouTubers when I was in your shoes was, they said, don't worry about, you know, your adventure rank or your levels and stuff like that. Just play the game and it'll happen as it happens, kind of thing. Sure. However, they're not taking into account that events are only up for a certain amount of time. right? And you can't even do these events unless you're a certain level. So I would say, yeah, you kind of do want to hurry up until you're at least able to do these events, because they may never come again. And if they do come again, it may be like in a full year or something like that. And if you want to participate and reap the rewards and stuff like that, or unlock the character that they have in there, you might want to hurry up and at least get to that point so you could see the event, do the events, because sometimes they're really cool and unique and they have rewards that you'll never be able to attain again. So I would say yes, events are priority number one if you're able to actually do them. If not, I would worry about the other stuff, which is gonna build your adventure rank and your character levels until you can get to this point. Next is character levels. So how do you do this? You can just play the game and you will get XP to level your characters, just like every other game. However, in Genshin you can use these things to level your character up to certain points, and then you'll need specific material to take it past that point. This is why it's important to focus on just a handful of characters at a time at least, because you're not going to have enough material to level up everybody in the game. You're either going to have everybody at extremely low level, or you're going to have a handful of people extremely strong and maxed out. And once they are maxed out, then you can move on to the next person, fine, whatever. But focus on a few people at a time because you're going to need it at first. Another thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about the currency and the banners and all that stuff is Noelle. If you're a brand new player, you probably have the ability to roll on the Noelle banner. Do it, because she's amazing. First of all, it's pretty much free, right? And she is good. She's a healer and a tank and a melee DPSer at the same time. She's pretty good. When you get later in the game, there's going to be people that outshine her, obviously. Eventually you're going to get to that point, but early on in the game, she's a godsend. Another thing to note is you can mark specific locations on the map, and you may be like, why is this even relevant? It's because you may find sources of certain material that you need, but it only is going to refresh once a day, so tomorrow you could get this again. For instance, I like to mark locations where I can get a lot of meat really fast, and you might not care about cooking at all, but you could at least do it to reach the weekly counter for the battle pass, because you'll get good stuff in the battle pass, and a lot of that stuff is just you playing the game normally and you unlock it all the way anyway, but cooking and mining is part of it. So a few more little tips here is like when you make it to the part of the game where you get your own little homestead, let's say, without spoilers, every day you could plant plants there in specific plot of lands, but those take so long to grow that you may not even consider that being worth it. And fine, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But you can earn primal gems here, unlocking these achievements for your homestead, as well as every day you're gonna get a certain amount of currency depending on how much points your homestead makes. And with these points you would be able to buy these XP things, which could help you level your character, or you could buy more furniture if that's what you're into, or you could buy these resin things here. However, these expire after a certain amount of time, so you have to use it before you lose it, for the resin one specifically. Okay, so this is not a daily thing to do, but this is a weekly thing you should do. And it's you come to this night over here and you take these tasks, and you can only complete a certain amount of them per week, and then you have to wait till next week for resets. So if you're strong enough, you could take the hardest difficulty one and get the most amount of points for your effort. You might not be able to take on that opponent, so perhaps take the one at your level, at your tier level. As well as for doing specific quests and unlocking certain places, you'll get XP for this, and then all of this accumulates to you unlocking all of this stuff in this list. And it's pretty good stuff to have, and every different zone will have a character like this, which you can do these weekly missions for and unlock all of these little gadgets and stuff, and a glider from. And this other shop over here, every zone would also have someone like this, and you turn in the currency from each of those zones into this person for specific stuff. You may be wondering, like, what should I buy in this? All of it. Buy all of it. Eventually you'll be able to buy all of it, and the only thing that'll be remaining is just the gold, and you could just keep buying that gold over and over and over. As many points as you have is as much gold as you can get. A few things that might easily be forgotten for a new player is like, if you're a duelist, well, you might want to do your weekly duels as well as collect your rewards. Also, don't forget to claim all of the things you unlocked in the battle pass each day, and ultimately don't forget to claim all your rewards, as well as in your adventurer's handbook. There's investigation progress in there. You should claim those rewards that you might have forgotten, and you could also claim your commissions in there too. You should also do the web events each day, and then therefore claim your rewards each day. One last note is the Statue of the Sevens. I believe when you start off the game they give you half health if you get near it, but you can actually change the settings on it by clicking it, and you can have it restore your health 100%, which I didn't know for a long time, but there's your tip. Anyway, that's about it for now, guys. I hope I helped. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.